Jonathan Furlong is a Southern California native, best classified as a self-taught lifestyle and street photographer. Furlong is self-described as hypercritical, with an anxiety-ridden mind, constantly seeking ways to capture authentic beauty in chaos through the lens of photography. He embraces imperfections, true-to-life scenery, and candidness. To him, photography is the art of preserving moments for eternity, allowing those who experience his work to look into the past and to understand how it sets the stage for the future.
Furlong, what's going on?
I'm good, man. It was interesting morning, to say the least. Positive ups and downs, but
we appreciate you doing this interview with us for AwareNow magazine, or this conversation. I like to start off with everyone I talk to by asking one question, and it's, who are you? Not what is your name, but who are you?
Me, for the longest time, I was a lost individual. I always thought I knew, loving life, had huge ambitions. I could do no wrong. Everyone loved me, so I had a different view of myself than the reality of how other people saw me, I guess. Everything about me always had good intentions. Now I'm at a point where I'm realizing there is a lot more behind it, and areas I was completely unaware of, and it could only make me a better person. And that's I guess summed it up a little bit. I could go way deeper, but it's just
that's a big one. A lot of people stumble there, or ramble. I think what I would ask is, who are you today? Like, who's John Furlong?
I'm becoming the version that I always thought I could be, and that people in my life, my partner, which we're separated, I can say that now. I have to clarify, because she always thought of me in that way of what I was capable of, and how my parents, or how my friends and certain people that had that, they saw it in me.
Yeah.
I just never knew how to get there or believe in myself. And now I finally come to a stage in my life where I know my self-worth. I know where I'm at. I know who I can be, and becoming that individual, and being confident, being on an interview with you guys. Like, I would never, I could never have done this without getting.
A lot of it's people, places, and things.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I find. That's been one of the biggest tools that I've found, is like, no matter how hard it is to change your people, places, and things, once you do, then you follow suit, or at least I did. That's my experience.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, looking from the outside in, bro, it was wonderful having you around, and I see you, I see you, I don't see all that other stuff, and it helps when someone doesn't see that other stuff, but I see you, and I like what I see. So that's why we wanted to talk to you today.
And likewise, I mean, there's similarities that I have with people. It's just now, especially me, where my brain is firing on a different level than it has the past 20 years. And that is due to, a lot of substance that I put in to cope and get through life. And there's more areas where, obviously addiction and certain zones, but I had a completely incorrect view on it. And I always thought, me being an alcoholic was, I'm doomed. I got this fucking disease, and I'm gonna have to battle it the rest of my life. And through the process of what has transpired in, say, the past 10 months now, where I'm learning a completely different way of things, and I'm being like, alcoholism or addiction, those are for me, this is me personally, are the top layers of something that stems way deeper, and way deeper to the root of, insecurities, behaviors that I was, how I was raised, how I was taught. And it's no one's fault, no one's blame. It's just getting in and diving into that deep shit that no one wants to, or no one even realizes, they have.
Yeah,
And
that's there. Yeah.
it's there. There's reasons behind it all.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just say one thing and then we'll get into your work. Shepard made some really great comments about who I am today versus who I was before. And at the heart of that, he was like, he always says, well, Eddie was always a good guy, but there's always that,
Yeah.
but he always, to your point, other people see what we can't. And, when you start being able to visualize what they see and you can actualize it. So, as brothers in addiction, I'm here for you if you ever need.
Yeah, it's just really believing in yourself. And, you can always say that. It's just actually doing it and be like, wait a minute. Like, this is about me and I have control over it. And it's not, an endless battle. I'm not a piece of shit or all the things that you tell yourself, and your mind is so powerful in that way. Yeah, it loves the negative shit.
The inner dialogue changes. So let's move on to, I almost want to ask how all that shit affected your work, but I think we can get there later. Tell us why did you get into photography?
Photography for me, that was the one. I mean, my dad has done good things in life, but he was a videographer, so I was kind of surrounded by cameras and everything there. So when I was young, I picked up film cameras and I was shooting when I was, 6. I just running around clicking a fucking point and shoot. And then in school, I was really into the concept of like a war journalist, like taking photos in like active war zones. And I was very intrigued by it. It was confusing. And I never, I was like, wait, why do I like this? I kind of felt weird, but I had a teacher in high school and he was a Vietnam vet photographer. And so we connected and I kind of learned way more. And that's what was intriguing. And I always thought photography for me was freezing a moment in time. And, I'm able to keep that. Like and also it sounds weird, but it's something I never had to really try hard to get a photo, where it just came very natural to me, where I felt extremely confident and I just looked at the world differently. And I was able to use a camera to capture what was going on in my mind or how I viewed things. And through that whole process, I did it as a full hobby. Like, this is something I love to do. I didn't care if I was in a dark room for 12, 14 hours. The older I got, I started getting a little more pissed off. Like, teachers would try to control like how something should look, but it was just something that I really enjoyed. I never thought of it fully as leading me to a profession. I always wanted to, but I did want to be a war journalist, a war consultant. And my parents shot me down. Nope, you're not going to war. That was really what I wanted to do.
That might have been your inner self trying to put yourself in harm's way,
Yeah.
And trying to be too excited. Trying to be too excited.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, I'm thankful, but it was more that concept of even my younger self of the bigger picture and like what I can do with this and really making it have a voice and tell a story. Because I mean, a photo it freezes time. And, I think a lot of people forget that, or just even look at it that way, where you take a photo of someone and I look at it like as a portrait. I'm now thinking like, what's going on in their mind? Where are they having a good day, bad day? Like, I'm able to, there's a lot more behind it. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. What if you had to think of one photo or one job or one person, and I know that's a big question, but like, what was your favorite job or your favorite hobby shot? Like, is there one thing that sticks out that really moved the needle for you, where you realized who you were and what was going on?
For me, I don't know. I might have to circle back to that one, because that's kind of, I think I'm focusing too hard.
Is there one person that you've shot that was your favorite?
My daughter.
That's
Like
the best.
it's that, yeah. Shooting photos of her, and just there's specific ones where I look at them and just that happiness, joy, and just her. Yeah, there's just so much connection and the feeling behind it. Like her personality, my personality, all transpiring into that photo where it's
Moment.
pure. Yeah, it's pure moment, pure. There's so much energy, internal energy that we're both projecting to create that moment, and I'm able to, like I said, have that for the rest of my life, and I get to share that. She gets to, her mom does as well, and it's just
Right, for generations to come, hopefully.
yeah.
So I guess let's talk about Louisville for a minute. How'd you like Louisville?
Louisville is interesting. I mean, I've never been. I've only been to like South and North Carolina, so I haven't been at the South, and so I didn't know what to expect. People are like, "Oh, there's like rolly farm hill land and some downtown stuff," and I was just like, "Oh, I was going in blind, but I had the most optimistic and positive attitude and just accepted and go in, and I, even fully meeting you, I've heard of you, or I'm sure we crossed paths before, but I was like, Danny was like, you had to have met Eddie, like fucking been around forever. And I was like, I don't know. But regardless of that, it was, exciting, and everyone was extremely kind and generous and made it very welcoming, and it was nice and at ease, like peaceful, no stress. Like I felt it with the rest of the team. Like our energy was just good. We, ran into tiny little problems, but it was just like, hey, it is what it is. Let's just keep going. Let's just do this, and the support from everyone on the subject of the mural, where the mural is at, why we were here, what we were doing it for, everything behind like Shepard's voice and why, was received extremely well. At least that's what we got from everyone. Like there was moments where I'm like, ooh, like I wonder how people will react. And every city we go to, depending on the subject of the wall, or like you might get haters or people like, what the fuck, why are you guys doing this? But every single person that came by was thumbs up, doing a great job, only positive reinforcement, and that just keeps transcending into,
Yeah, everyone's energy. Yeah, I mean, it's safe to say that giant Ali mural was pretty cool, but like you were on the ground doing it, like you were up there, right? You were getting the drone. What did you think when you actually got to pull back and look at that massive mural of Ali?
Oh, it was amazing. It was, breathtaking in a way, and just how that was one thing where it was a little sad, where it's like a lot of things I noticed were, abandoned buildings. It's, it has a form of poverty that I wish was, looked at more and was more of a concern for people, because everyone, just because, you're born and raised somewhere doesn't mean you have to, continue to, that's not your life. You're not defined by it. And people just neglect it in a way. And just think, well, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, you can go 10 miles the other direction and it's nice. Like, why?
Right. Yeah.
Why can't you all coincide? And having that mural there, it's going to bring attention. Like, you stand back and you look at it and you're like, wow, like it's hard. You can't miss it. And it just brings something beautiful for people to look at. You might have a hard day and you look up and be like, hey, this,
brighter
great
future.
looking. Yeah, great looking. And you got Muhammad Ali on it. So it's like you have all the things that he's about. And it causes, you to think, or you just, it might brighten your day just seeing something colorful. It could be as simple as that.
Yeah.
Lead you in a good direction.
I took the former mayor, Greg Fisher, picked me up yesterday, and I took him over for the first time to see the mural, and he was a big champion of ours to get this done. And he was just like amazed, and he also told me some plans that are coming up surrounding the area based on kind of the progress that we were all a part of, And I think we see those kind of murals all the time, right? Especially you, but for the city of Louisville, they've never seen anyone come in and rock it like that in 4 days,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
cool.
I mean, It was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed Kentucky. I thoroughly enjoyed meeting everyone and the experience. And like I said, just in that magazine thing where I always wish I had more time in cities. A lot of times we get there, we are busy. It's, airport, hotels, well, and repeat, and eating at the same joints, mussels and burgers. It's like eat, work, go, and so it's
Well,
parts I have.
if you ever
What
want
was
to
it?
come back, you got a place to stay. So,
Oh, okay, I
I'm gonna
appreciate
go to
that.
Rome.
Yeah,
Bring your daughter. You can stay for the
I
weekend
would
after.
definitely. But yeah, that was something I always just wish we had more time to soak in more and be involved in the culture and just what the city's about, and really getting a full spectrum and like understanding to the best of I can of where I'm at.
What do you got? What's coming up besides travel, chef? What do you got coming?
I've been working on just like personal aspects of my photography where it's always just sort of a weird thing with me where doing family photos or shooting things that I used to be like, too good for that, or it's a pain in the ass, or I'm not that photographer, and I'm kind of take a fully different approach where I'm finally okay with, I know I'm good at what I do. I know my worth. I know I can provide something that, there's a lot of other people that do this, but I have my own spin on it. This is something part of my life, and taking that approach where I can take do like family stuff, more of an intimate take on it. Like it's not just like, hey, let's go to a park and shoot a family photo. I have a concept of like going into and being fully immersed in a family and telling an intimate story with my photography of this family. Like it's all candid, it's all just who they are as a family, and it's strictly for them. And taking that approach that I can provide that for them. And it's, my skill, the way I see things, and they can have this for the rest of their life. So I'm kind of transitioning or just having that as an option when I'm not traveling, when I want to do more creative work in a different realm. But it's still kind of like aspects of what I do for Shepherd and on our trips where it's all candid, where I'm just doing what we naturally do. And I want to have that same component into something that a lot of people, it's like, stand, take a picture. I'm like, no, I'm going to involve it into a different sort of side business that I can provide a purpose, basically.
I like that idea. It sounds like a natural progression or a natural thought to be able to capture those intimate moments versus stand here and hold your kid and then there it is.
Yeah.
Come to your house and hang out all day Sunday, and then we're going to grab some real moments that people want to remember. So let me ask you this. We all know that there's a mental health crisis in our country, in the world, and there's gun violence and all these massive issues that none of us have the answer for, but we all have our own perspectives. Do you, obviously, I'm on this Artists for Trauma mission now. What would you tell the young, struggling John about the possibilities of the art world or expressing yourself through art as far as a healing component?
Oh, sorry, I'm drawing a blank because it's hard for me to. It's a tough question. I mean, obviously, there's a lot.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. So let me change it. What would you tell a young photographer or artist that's struggling to figure it out? What would your advice be to somebody young that doesn't necessarily know how to get where you are or where our friends are?
One is the dedication, like not giving up. Like a lot of people want to try things, and art and anything, like it's your own interpretation. It's you are good enough in a world that, just because it's not on a high level or you're not getting paid millions of dollars for it, doesn't mean that you don't have a voice and you're not talented at what you do. And it's believing in yourself and really striving to keep going and not giving up. Like that's, I mean, like anything in life, it's, you can easily, you have a choice. You can give up, you know, you can stop doing what you're doing, but it takes a bigger person and a stronger person to keep going. And with all the negative shit or failures, you have, you know, you have control over that and how you want to be perceived and how you want your art to, you know, it can go deep. I can go on and on about this topic, but it's
you know, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. And
yeah, of course.
I look at you as an inspiration for a lot of different reasons. I wish I was creative, but I admire your strength to keep going, regardless of how it feels, you know?
Yeah, it's learning from everything and not, like, you know, regretting and wanting to get rid of the past. It's learning. Like I finally realized, shit, I can learn from the past and go forward. I needed everything to happen to get me here, to get me to this point. Like everything had to transpire in the same way it did to get me to where I'm at in the direction I'm going.